Hey everyone, this is Evan with Tabletop Gaming Guild. Today I'm bringing you a review of Tales from the Loop, the starter set. This is the RPG here, put out by Free League Publishing. So I'm going to take you to tabletop, show you some of the contents in there, a little more in depth than the unboxing here, and go over the stuff that we see into that. Now I will say here, as a disclaimer, there is an adventure that's in there. I'm not going to go into talking about what's in that, just to not ruin anything that might be in that. But after we go through all that stuff, I'm going to bring it back from the table and then give you my final thoughts, all right? Alright, so here we are down on the tabletop, and here we're going to go over the contents of the Tales from the Loop starter set here. So here's the box here. I already pulled out all the stuff in it, so what you're going to get is all this, this, and this. So I'm going to start here with the dice that are in there. So the system itself uses D6s, and these are kind of a fancy D6 here, with the 6 having the special symbol here. And you get a fair amount of them. So what's really nice with the system, and it's really simplistic, is the attributes and the skills that you have are going to generate how many die you roll, and success and failure is really, really simple. If you roll a 6, you succeed. If you don't roll a 6, you fail. So it's really nice and really easy to learn. One cool thing you get in here is map of the area here. So this is the map, from the show itself here. And then on the inside, it has an alternate, which is Boulder City. So if you don't want to do the Sweden from the show and stuff, you could do it something that's more, commonplace here in America. But that's the Swedish here. So you get that. So it's really, really neat touch, so you can see what's going on. So now the rest of the contents of the box here. So the key thing you're going to get is this rule book here. So in this rule book, it's going to have the basics of starting this game. So it's not the full-blown rules, but as you can see, it's only 32 pages. And with that, we'll flip over here. So this first section here is going to talk about Welcome to Loop, and it's just basically what's happening, what a role-playing game is if you're not familiar with that, and the basics of how this goes, basics of the area, of what's happening in the game, the breakdown of how different scenes work out for that. So this next section here, 10 through 15, is going to talk about the world itself. I'm not going to go too much about that. If you're really interested into that, I really recommend just watching the show. This is where it's actually going to start talking about the different things into the game. So starting here, page 18 here, talk about the kids. So in this game, you are playing as kids in the 1980s. So some of us remember that fairly well. Some might be a little bit before some of our ages, but not all of us. So in this game here, you're going to be a kid aged 10 to 15, as it says here, and you're going to have attributes that you're going to be using in this game. So as opposed to Dungeons & Dragons where you have strength, dexterity, and stuff like that. So you only have a couple attributes you have to worry about. So it's body, tech, heart, and mind, which they lay out here. And then also in this book that has some characters that come with it, so I'm going to show you those here, and it's going to you'll have a better idea how it works. So, with those attributes, as in body, tech, heart, mind, you have a couple skills that are underneath that. So, as you can see there, body has sneak, force, move, tech has tinker, program, and so on. So those are the different skills that you're going to end up rolling your d6s for, and you're going to use those. So if I want to, sneak past a robot or something like that, you're going to take a look how many points you have in body, how many points you have in sneak, combine that number together, and then you're going to roll that, and that's going to tell you if you succeed or not. As long as you get at least a 6, the more 6s you get, the better the success that you have. You also have items in this game, and the items here will actually give you a bonus in the different checks you do, as long as it makes sense for that. So if you're trying to sneak, you couldn't use like a boom box, to help you. You have to make sure that it is applicable to what you're using. Also, you also have, starting the game, an iconic item. The iconic item is something that's specific to your character itself, and that iconic item gives you a bigger bonus than normal items, but you're the only person that can use that iconic item for the ability to get bonus die. So, as you go on, there's different things that will happen. You can get different conditions, such as if you're upset, scared, exhausted, hurt. Those will remove dice from your dice pool as you're generating dice. You can also do, if you roll and you roll terribly, you can push your die, let you re-roll, but you have to take a condition to do so. So you hurt yourself in the future to get that re-roll now. So this section right here talks about like the conditions and stuff like that, the dice rolls, how it affects, how items and whatnot go through. How you can, by effects, pushing rolls like I just talked about here, failed rolls and how it works. Now, one success is normally what you need for most normal results. But sometimes if you're doing stuff that's extremely difficult or almost impossible, you may need more than one of those d6s to come up. So as we continue on here, it's going to just more or less break down a couple more things about like playing our RPGs in general itself, how different outcomes go. And this is where it's going to go and talk about the skills more, in depth and how you would use them. Overall, this book is a really easy read. It's only 32 pages long, so it's going to give you a really good overview for the game and kind of get you started in the right direction if this is something that you want to try. Along with this, it does come with one adventure here. I'm not going to open it up so I don't spoil anything. The only thing I'm going to show you, it's only 16 pages long, so it's not overly long. It gives a lot of layouts and diagrams into that. When I read through this, I was like, oh, this is actually a really cool adventure that they put together with it. It's designed that it can be played in a single night, so a couple hours and you can get through it. And then along with that, it brought along a couple pre-generated characters, name a little bit about them. Now, as you see through the book, it's going to have the Swedish name up here. But if you want to do the Americanized, like in Boulder City, every location has that alternate name in the brackets, so they're kind of interchangeable if you want to do that. So in the pre-generators, they give you 5, and right here, so you can see here's the attributes here as you mark your conditions here, and then the skills they're all listed through here. So Maria, if she's doing a heart charm, that's 5 and 3, so she's rolling 8 die. So if she can use her makeup box, it makes sense, and that's a lot of things. So you have to be able to role play through the situation to say, hey, I can use this to make this check easier by doing this. You have to be able to put that together to make it work. But in that situation, so 5, 3, and potentially 2, she can be rolling up to 10 die for that. So it's pretty easy to get some successes with that, as long as you can roll fairly well. Remember, that's 90% of what you need right there. That's going to give you a little bit about each character, what drives them, problems they have, and even the different relationships that they have with the various other characters. And each one is broken down that way. It's really nicely laid out, and I think it's a really cool way that they did this to make it really easy to kind of jump in. You got everything you need. You got the adventure, the basics of the rules here. You put up the map, so if I want to figure out where I'm going, whatnot, we have that here. Even giving us the dice that we need, everything is all in one. Everything ready to go, and it's going to give you that taste of the game to see if this is exactly what you want to do, what you want to play. So I'm going to take you back up here and give you my final thoughts. All right. So final thoughts here on Tales from the Loop. So Free League, again, has done a fabulous job with the IPs that they're getting. So this starter box has everything that you need to check out this game. As I said, as I was on the table, it's not the entire rule set. You're only getting 32 pages into this of the rules, so it is just a dabble into that. But it's going to give you enough of that taste with that adventure in there to let you figure out, is this the RPG for me? We reviewed lots and lots of RPGs on our channel here. There's lots and lots of options, so if D&D is not your thing, there's probably one out there for you. This is just another one here. So if you've checked out the show, if this kind of alternate 1980s kind of thing is your thing, this is something to check out. Now you can get everything that you need to play it without dumping $30-40 into a rule book that you're not 100% sure that you're going to do. You can do this for less than that. Get everything you need. Run an adventure. Check it out. I definitely recommend it. It is very well done. Free League does a fabulous job with a lot of their products, and this is definitely continuing into that trend for them. Almost anything I've ever picked up from Free League, I have thoroughly enjoyed. So definitely a thumbs up from us. Don't be surprised here in the future if you see us playing an RPG session of this that I'll be running. It is really, really good. So if you like our content here, definitely hit that subscribe button. Every subscription helps us out, bringing more content to you. And if you have any comments, questions there, hit, in the comment section here. Let us know, and, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. But until later, this is Evan, Tabletop Gaming Guild. We'll see you later.